So hey guys, welcome to our live training for mastering your sales goal. In last month's blog, I discussed a little bit about how we go about approaching our sales strategy and sales goal setting. So in there, I discussed a little bit more about our quarterly planner and how both myself and our awesome chief of marketing here at Anansi for how we go about working with coordinating our sales and our marketing plans and bringing them together so that we have achievable goals that we've set inside of there. So the quarterly planner, we're creating that detailed and comprehensive action plan for both the sales and the marketing goals. And for my sales, what I'd like to do is I break my goals down into smaller and smaller numbers. So with the corresponding activities so that I can keep them manageable. And then I can also like have those quick wins and keep myself motivated. So those activities are actually divided between leading and lagging key performance indicators, so our KPIs. And I track those on a weekly basis with a scorecard. So a leading KPI is essentially the action that leads us to achieve my overall business objectives. So a leading indicator encourages internal stakeholders to identify and create new business opportunities. And you can start to begin by asking yourself, like, what activities do I need to employ to get those results? So that's anywhere from the total number of leads created, the total number of opportunities or deals that I'm going to put into my pipeline, and then my close rate. So that's my leads that are converted into those won opportunities or deals. Lagging KPIs, those are measuring the completed sales activities and my performance. So that's where I'm seeing my actual sales. I'm seeing my total number of products or my services that I've sold, or it's the total number of deals won. And the one that I really like is my total number of deals that I've lost. Because those deals that are lost, that's an excellent opportunity for me to turn them into a leading KPI and start to develop a new sales strategy. So by keeping weekly track of my above metrics, it allows me to either lean into my successes or it allows me to pivot easily if I'm missing my targets. But by being on top of my numbers, that's where I can create these new sales opportunities quickly to get back on track. So in today's live training, I'd like to explore how one company is in the process of developing a strategy to sell through some overstock, which then creates opportunities to increase their monthly recurring revenue. We're going to work backwards from a goal, develop a strategic sales plan complete with the KPI goals, and then how marketing is going to assist in the process of hitting that target. What I'd like to do is I'd like to introduce Candace Kincaid from the Clean Crate Company. And Candace, thank you very much for joining us today and being our little case study with Anansi.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. Could you tell us a little bit more about the Clean Crate Company and how you guys got started?
Sure, yeah. So the Clean Crate Company is a subscription service for all Canadian eco-friendly, non-toxic cleaning products, so household daily essentials. It's a 3-month subscription box that's delivered every 3 months. It's curated different products every 3 months. We also have an add-on shop. So in addition to what a household would receive for their daily essentials, they can add on a variety of other products from our add-on shops, depending on what they might require for that time frame. The subscription box includes your daily essentials. So your dish soap, your dishwasher detergent, your hand soap, your laundry detergent, and then some bonus eco extras to help Canadian homes become more eco-friendly, to try new products that will help reduce the chemical usage in their home.
That's amazing.
In a nutshell.
In a nutshell. And how would you describe your audience?
Meaning like our target market?
Yeah, your target market, yes.
Yeah, so definitely female. We actually find that our most loyal customers currently are sort of a higher age demographic, maybe even empty nesters. Definitely moms, they're sort of 35 to 45. It's sort of the ideal product for them because they're busy. They don't have time to go to the stores to buy everything they need. They want to try new products. They're in their house, cleaning every day. We do dishes every day. And, and this is a way for them to sort of get have some fun back into the stuff that they're doing on a daily basis. So without wasting, without, getting a bunch of products that they won't use, because they're guaranteed to use this stuff.
Oh, that's amazing. That's fantastic. So basically what's happened is, if I understand correctly, with your boxes, you have a different box every new season. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah.
And then, so what you guys identified is as you're moving into a new season, you have a little bit of some overstock,
Yeah.
and you want to be able to, you want to be able to go ahead and try to sell some of those curated clean boxes. And then or you might also use that for some of your add-ons or some bundles that you guys have created as well, correct?
Absolutely, yeah. And everything from every season, the products that are in that curated box, they're not available for individual purchase on our website until that box is finished. And then at that point, our subscribers are able, if they fell in love with a particular product from the first time, they can add that product to their current crate because it's available on our website. So it does allow us to use our products that we bulk purchase for the subscription boxes in different ways, but we are open to looking at different avenues to sell off product at this time.
Great, great. So let's say, for instance, you guys have, what do you want to set your goal at? Do you want to set your goal at about 50 subscription boxes?
That would work.
Yeah. Okay. So we've got 50 subscription boxes that you're wanting to go ahead and sell off. And if you've got those 50 clean crates, now you guys actually started to come up with a different idea of to move from that B2C to a B2B client. So you're actually going to be starting to target realtors. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Interesting. And what was the thought process behind the going after realtors?
Right. It actually started fairly organically. There was a few of them that had pardon?
No pun intended.
No pun intended, of course. A few of them had contacted us and just mentioned through social media, and also just through our own personal circle of colleagues, that this was something that would work really nicely for their welcome gift, this sort of cleaning essentials that they would need when they for their clients, so that their clients could have a good deep clean, but it's supporting all these Canadian brands, and so it fit really well. So right now we're just in the process of doing some research to figure out exactly how we want to approach that, and the offer that we want to present to realtors, because there's definitely a good market, especially right now when our real estate market is booming, and it's a convenient service for them.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we were talking about this yesterday, that it's a strange little housing bubble here in Vancouver, BC, that we're seeing like huge increases over last year of 50, I think it was 54% in new home sales. So the real estate market is not slowing down in Vancouver, BC. So excellent. I like how you guys listen. You guys did a little bit of social listening inside of there, so that you'd be able to identify this new vertical. And then I love the idea, that organic. It just makes sense. It's an awesome welcome gift. It's a way for that realtor to establish that much more trust, and sort of like that personal touch and experience that the homeowner is going to remember. And then there's a possibility for that homeowner to now become a client of yours even as well. So it's like a win-win-win opportunity.
Totally.
I love this. I love it. Okay.
Yeah.
So realtors are our new target clients. And essentially, so we've got 50 subscription boxes. That's a nice, healthy. How long do we want to be able to, like what sort of time period do you want to set yourself to be able to sell those 50 boxes?
I mean, we're sort of looking at moving through that stock, if let's say 50, before spring. So I would say, sometime before March, we would like to be able, just because right now is sort of the perfect time for us to be able to put together that marketing plan before we work into launching our next clean crate for our customers.
Smart. So 6 weeks. So we're setting some smart goals, as specific, measurable, achievable, and realistic and timely goals. So if we've got 50 crates that we need to sell, and as far as a close rate, I think because this is going to be the first time, if I understand correctly, that you guys are even attempting this, I think it's really smart just to set a moderate goal of 25% for your close rate. So if that's the case, we're going to be looking you need to generate 200 leads right now to go after to be able to get those 50 clients. Now, it may be that as you develop your offer, that your close rate is probably going to increase that much more. But regardless, you now have 200 potential leads that you could still work off of. So you may hit that target a little bit quicker, and you may even go over that target and move them into the new subscription box. So it's awesome. Okay, so if we've got a list of 200 realtors, now would you work on a local and a national level with that?
I think a couple of things locally, ideally, only because from the feedback I've received, there would be the real estate agents would want to bulk purchase. And so in order for us to deliver that many crates, it makes most sense for us to do it by car versus Canada Post, just because of the weight of the product. And especially if they were selling, if they were buying 3 or 4 of them at a time. So I would want to focus on the Vancouver and Greater Vancouver market right now. Okay. And there's a lot of real estate agents here, so.
There sure are. So as far as getting in front of those 200 realtors, like really fast and quick, and to build up that lead list, have you thought about perhaps maybe even reaching out to your current subscribers, or even putting some social media posts that are out there as well, kind of like referral, like maybe even do a referral, like if you know a realtor and refer one, then they may get a free product or maybe even a free bundle that you guys offer?
Yeah, I mean, we've definitely thought about it. These are all things that we're having conversations about right now, but none of them that we've actually like put into place or decided which sort of tactic we're going to go forward with. So your feedback is appreciated there for sure.
Yeah, great. Okay, so for the sales process for the weekly leading KPIs, as I said, like I'm a numbers girl. I get motivated really well. Like, I know it's kind of geeky, but like, I like knowing that I've booked a certain number of appointments, or I've booked in, I've contacted a certain number of leads, because then the more data points that I have, I'm able to identify and see where I might need to like increase my efforts or change my tactics. What about yourself? Like, you've been in sales as well for a period of times. What motivates you when you're out there like making those contacts?
Well, I think it's a bit different right now, being that we have been entirely in a business to consumer market, which my personal sales experience has always been a business to business. So being able to identify, lost leads, or why a customer hasn't, let's say, purchased yet, or what their purchasing cycle is. A lot of it is analytical in the back of our website at this point, and then also just in our communication on social media and subscriber email lists. It's different than business to business, where if I was to generate a list of real estate agents, it would be easier to follow those numbers. And myself personally, I agree. I like to have those numbers. I like to have those targets. So I think that this will be nice for me to be able to work off some numbers for sure.
Yeah. So some of the things that I was thinking about, like because you're just starting to explore with this B2B side of it, I thought like having those conversations and so we've got our 50 leads as one of our leading KPIs, but then we've got our meeting. I suggested, booking meetings with them so that you can kind of, one, open the door, get your you're introducing your product, but it's also quite difficult for you to be reaching out to 50 people per week. Like, that would be like a lot on top of running an entire business, so on and so forth. So that's where we can look to marketing to help us to figure out, like, how could we automate that? What are some of the things that we could be putting together? Like, you guys, your Instagram, your visuals are so clean. I love the aesthetic of your Instagram. So like, how do you capture? Like, you want to use those visuals to be able to capture somebody's attention, but also be able to like, get in front of 50 eyeballs a lot quicker. Totally. Individuals, but the goal still remains the same. Let's like get a meeting, let's get on a phone call, and even that meeting's booked, it could even be like the conversations that you're having with somebody. So that's that contact that you're making with them. And then with another leading KPI is from there is exactly how many of those are those qualified leads or unqualified, so that we've got like a good balance. And then you've got your close rate that's inside of there that you're tracking on a weekly basis. So those are just my suggestions. You may have something where you may like as you go along here, you may notice that your leading KPI may change inside of there. And then it's just keeping track of those numbers. So that's the actual sales or the number of winter clean crates that were sold, and then the number of those deals that were lost, so that you could, you know, reach out maybe and try to create a new opportunity or a new promotion for that realtor. As
Totally.
far as the marketing side, Jazz, what, any idea, like any thoughts so far of how we could how we could help Candace, like, kind of automate a process or put something together in order to get in front of a lot more people quicker?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, immediately I'm thinking that there's an opportunity here. So if we know that you're, say at like a 25% close rate and we need to generate 200 leads to get to our goal of 50 boxes, you know, simply starting with building out that list. So maybe that is researching associations or, realtor groups or, individual realtor, I'm saying retailers almost, realtors. And then also utilizing the low-hanging fruit opportunity here. So this is a great opportunity, to engage your current subscribers. And the best way to do that is to also understand where your realtors are at. So, maybe one of the pain points is like they really value sustainability and it drives them crazy, dealing with clients that are just don't really value that. So kind of integrating that maybe into their process to kind of bring their core values in. That could be a pain point that they might be facing. So you can use that in your messaging to approach them. So that could be through kind of like a referral type of campaign and utilizing your existing list and subscribers by letting them know like, hey, know a realtor who's facing, XYZ problem, here's our offering. And, that if that referral comes through and they make the sale, there's a fun little freebie. I love, referral campaigns are great for that. Another opportunity here is also looking at, obviously you're using your low hanging fruit, but now visibility is obviously our main focus here as it's a new audience. So looking into different Facebook and LinkedIn groups, how do we get you in front of more eyes? How do you also learn about them throughout the process? So if you're in those Facebook and LinkedIn groups, you're seeing the pain points that they're going through. It's a space where you can ask those kind of general questions to understand where they're at so that you can just better understand how to help them get through the customer journey. And by understanding where they're at, again, audience, I feel like is the best place to really understand what their journey is so that you can actually build backwards from that goal. So we know we want 50 boxes, but we're still maybe not totally sure exactly where our realtors are at in making that purchase. So once we understand, we can build out a more strategic funnel. And, there's also an opportunity here for virtual events. I know a lot of realtor like conferences and et cetera have gone online, and there's still exhibitor options. And they're probably a lot more affordable on a virtual platform. And also that's also a really fun opportunity for you to really, to meet multiple faces at once, because you know how it is with real events. Like you got to wait. You're trying to get them to come to your stall. You need to get their attention. But in a virtual event, you actually get like their undivided attention. Or maybe that's a sponsorship slot, that provides some kind of offer for those live events. And just something that I was writing notes down because I came up with ideas as I was going. But well, first, just thinking it, just going off of the with kind of like Facebook and LinkedIn groups, there's an opportunity there to then create automated kind of like drip messaging. So like once you've found someone who it seems like a good lead in a group, you can just kind of schedule an automation to, you can use a chat bot, you can hire a VA or handle it all on your own, and just have those messages continuously dripping out to them so that you're just always there, letting them know that you're around. You've got the answers from them. You're going to help them solve that problem.
Can you explain that a little bit more to me? I don't understand this drip messaging. That's new to me.
Yeah. So, I mean, ultimately, drip messaging is basically think of it as like an email automation. So like, let's say you sign up for someone's someone's email list on their website, and you probably get some kind of like lead magnet or some kind of freebie thing that you get to your email. And then you notice that every couple of days, they're kind of sending you more and more emails and, trying to make sure that they, you're sticking around, they're staying connected with you. So taking kind of that model and bringing it to social, where I don't the automation aspects, sometimes they get expensive. There's actually full on organizations, agencies that just do drip messaging campaigns through social platforms. But, on a smaller scale, if we're looking at 200 leads, I feel like that's still something that you might be able to handle in-house. That way you can save a little bit on marketing dollars and work towards that goal without having to kind of have to compromise financially. But ultimately, let's say that lead is like, you know what, I am interested, and you're like, hey, okay, let me DM you, that language, DM you. And then, you send them that first direct message being like, hey, I'm so glad, I'm so glad we connected. Just wanted to give you a heads up about like what we have to offer, would love to set up a call. If they don't answer in a couple days, there's another message that goes out like, hey, I didn't hear from you. So, and based on where they're at, you can, in understanding their internal and external pain points, kind of where they're at in their customer journey, we can really utilize that messaging throughout that drip campaign so that even if they're not really biting on the first or second message, maybe by the third, that final one where you're offering them some kind of big offer that really helps, just a no-brainer, to kind of push them over the edge to purchase. So,
to speak a little bit further, like you could even like you can offer some social proof, and because Candace has started to delve into a little bit more of that influencer marketing side, because Candace, you guys, I think just at Christmas, I think it was, or before Christmas, you actually got a really influential person here in Vancouver
to do an unboxing for us. Yeah, we definitely worked that strategy, and we were lucky enough to have Michael Bublé's wife do an unboxing for us in a nice video, and it's definitely a great little piece to share. I don't know if that's would be helpful for real estate agents, but
well, I think that influencer marketing, like it kind of gives that validity. It kind of sets you back, like, oh, interesting. Like, how did this company, how did they get in touch with her? And okay, so it kind of gives you, it solidifies a little bit, correct, Jazz?
Yeah, 100%. And, thinking about where this audience is at though, one thing, like at the top of my head, try to think of like, what would a realtor, like what would really send them over the edge? I feel like it's customized branding. So like if there's an opportunity to customize the box and it be like, still buy Clean Crate, but having like whatever their logo is and their branding and their colors even, so that you're also supporting them in like building up their brand while they're still supporting you, and there's a lot more visibility on both ends. So it's kind of like a win-win.
The feedback I've received so far is that, having that box customizable in the sense that they can add a nice bottle of wine, they can buy a gift card to throw in there so that their clients are receiving sort of everything they need to when they start at their new house, right? And yeah, obviously the visual of the box to be a little bit different than it is for our subscribers, that is so we are looking at that, and I think having different options in terms of price point is an idea as well, in terms of the offer, the drip messaging, that we'd be giving them different ideas.
Yeah, I mean, even having the different tiers is also a great upsell opportunity. It's like once they're in and they're purchasing, like let's say they're purchasing online through your funnel, when they go to click to buy, there's like an upsell, like, we can also customize your branding and we can also do this, so that it's a continuous, like, oh my gosh, this is answering all my prayers kind of thing. So yeah, and I'm glad you're thinking about it already, because those are some great things you can play with, especially as you build up this avatar. And again, and understanding where they're at, you can learn more about where opportunities lie for helping them move forward towards conversion.
And I think that's an important piece too, is building out that avatar, correct, Jazz? Your brand persona of that realtor and who that ideal client. Can you delve just a little bit deeper into that part? So, because that's really important. Like, I can go out and I can try to sell, 50 of these crates, but I'm going to be far more equipped if I know, like you said, the pain points of that realtor and where they're at in their customer journey.
And who their target customers are, right?
Yeah.
And probably not a luxury penthouse purchase type of gift, more of a family home, or a new family starting out, or, somebody moving a bit out to a suburbia from the city kind of a thing, right? And they're wanting to more clearly about what's products they're using in their home.
And
For the
there are developers even as well that are creating, like I was saying to Candace yesterday, Jazz, like there's a lot of neighborhood walks that you do during, like that I've been doing during this pandemic. And there are homes that are actually like that have been constructed that you can see that they're an LEED company, like built home.
Right.
So you could even like tap into that market and go after those developers as well. And start to speak directly to them, that they even have a showroom, and then it could be even a referral process from there, that if you have a Clean Crate inside of that showroom, now any sales, and that you know, like the person that's walking through that ends up buying a Clean Crate, they use that promotion code. Now the developer has got a little bit of like residual, or they're getting free product, or whatever the case may be. So many opportunities.
Totally.
Yeah. Affiliate marketing is really big with subscriptions as well. I've seen this more and more lately, just because, you know, just because it's usually so much value for a really affordable price when it comes to subscription boxes, and especially if you're looking at sustainable products. There's that market is just expanding and expanding, which is beautiful.
Totally.
So just understanding where they're at and where opportunities are to support them in supporting, you know, green local business is also huge, because I can imagine that obviously realtors would obviously be really thrilled about that too. It's like I'm not just buying them their client a random gift. There's actual intention and like a conscious thought about supporting, you know, people in your community and all that.
Yeah, and the like Canadian brands piece is so huge for what we do and who we are, and it is not easy to source exclusively awesome Canadian products. Not available easily at retailers. There's maybe one or two brands, and they're usually a larger one. Most people don't understand that the products that we have here are owned by large American companies, and they're not at the quality that, you know, I would like to be using in my home. And this is why we have sourced exclusively Canadian products. So it does help in that whole shop local, and, you know, reducing, you know, our carbon footprint. And there's just so many talking pieces there. And I think it is important to align with real estate agents who value that, right? And customers who want that experience, right?
I love this. This is so good. Well, I think we're at our 15 minutes for a little micro training, but thank you very much, Candace.
Thank you.
You know, I think that there's an excellent opportunity, like we were discussing yesterday, that maybe throughout the quarter, we continue to work with Clean Crate and help, like, you know, like we do like these little mini case studies, and that we can kind of assist and help where we can.
Let's do it.
Let's explore that more. Yeah. Lovely. Okay. Well, with this live training, we do have our quarterly planning, and we can also include our Anansi scorecard planner as well. If you're wanting to go ahead and book like a 30-minute free session with myself, you guys can more than happy to do that. We'll go ahead and we'll supply that. Make sure you book in a call. Let's discuss some new strategies. Where are you missing on some of those metrics, and how we can help you assist with the sales marketing, the sales piece, and that marketing piece, and bringing them both together. Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Talk to you soon. Thanks, guys.